It was basically this thing I did when I quit my job like 5, 6 years ago. No, like quite, like literally. I think I got to the point where I was working like this accounting gig for like one of the big 4 accounting firms, and I just really didn't like it. So I started throwing video game events, and most of them were tournaments. And from that, kind of got experience on like event logistics and just bracketeering and TOing and whatnot. And then from that, you know, I started doing like bar events, and that really kind of like just kind of peeped me to like the social scene, you know, as far as what it was like just kind of being somebody that was like, you know, I'm going to create an event, and how do people, what do people get excited for when they go to an event?
As far as I play games, I did join in about late 2013. I first moved to the city and I met Kevin and everyone else. And recently afterwards, he contacted me and said, hey, listen, we're looking for new hands. We'd love to bring you on. So I got to, you know, experience a lot of these new things, meet a lot of great people, and really just learn a lot more of not only how to properly run events, but to really get to know people and to get to know why they come to things like this and what they're looking forward to the next time.
I come to events and I oversee setup, and I go ahead and I go around and I make sure I table touch every little part of the convention, from us setting up to game selection to just interacting with every single person that comes in or out of the game room, making sure that they're having a good experience. I talk to a lot of our con goers and I ask them, what are you looking for? What kind of games would you like to play? What are you looking for? What makes the game room good? What keeps you coming back?
At this point, we've hosted tournaments pretty regularly, and most of them kind of for the fighting game scene. I do a lot of flavor of the month stuff when it comes to games. Like, I like to see what people get initially excited for. It's like, game just came out, I want to try it, so I do some flavor of the month stuff like that as well. A good portion of what goes on in Chicago as far as video game goes are definitely in the barcade scene. So I've basically worked in 2 different barcades doing monthly and bi-monthly events. So you can catch IPG doing that. But here's the part of it that I think a lot of people don't really see on the face of it. So I've done a lot of consulting on logistics and for creative ideas with Reed Exhibitions. And Reed Pop Exhibitions puts on C2E2, New York Comic Con, PAX South. From the perspective of having drinks and figuring out what people have fun in, it kind of came in handy when it was like, yo, we creatively need an idea to see what it is that people are going to do at NYCC to play games and have fun.
A lot of our senior members, such as Kevin, Kelvin, Sunil, they're really in tune as far as knowing what are the biggest events that are going on, what are the biggest games that are currently out, that are coming out. So they do a really great job of staying ahead of the curve on that. As far as tournaments, of course, we do want to do a lot of the more popular ones, but of course, we also want to try to squeeze in a tournament or 2 for some lesser known games because, even if they're not the most popular, they still have a following. So we really try to do what we can in these situations to get a nice overall round feel for anything you'd want to play.
Like, I really strove to I was like, yo, we gotta have more variety in the room. I think a lot of the things that we did in the past were based on like what was popular. So like Street Fighter was really popular, BlazBlue had become really popular. And so it was like a few fighting games had become like immensely popular. But then what I stopped, what I think we kind of lost focus on was that there's a lot of people that do things outside of fighting games.
In a market like this, where how much people love you is directly related to how much you listen to them, it's super important. It is paramount. Taking in feedback is such an important part of this, because if you go to a convention and you have games that people in this area might not like, or if you don't have a good mix of games, or if you don't continually bring new things to the table, people will come to your same game room over and over and over, and they'll get bored, and they won't want to spend a lot of time in the game room. And what we've realized through doing this for so long is that some people come to conventions and, there are 1 or 2 or 3 panels or, a little bit of programming that they want to see. But we have our own little kind of community that comes to the game room. And a lot of those people spend a good amount of their 72 hours at the convention solely in the game room, under our watch. So we want to make sure that those guys have the best possible time. I think it's just the amount of love and dedication that Kevin specifically shows to every single little aspect of the game room. Like, we're always roundtabling about, trying out different things, trying out new games. Do you think people will like this? Do you think people will enjoy this? And he's gone out of his way to even build some of our little game setups and, just reach out to, sometimes even, game developers and be like, hey, we want to try this game. Can we get a copy of this game and throw it in the game room? All of the staff, we all try to copy the amount of love and just attention to detail that Kevin shows.
So I guess realistically, like, IPG 2015, going into 2016 is like a collaboration of like all of those experiences where it's like, I'm really good at organizing video game events, but I'm also like really interested in like what is it that makes people have fun.
We're always looking, to meet new people. If anybody, of course, has interest in working events like this with us, you can always feel free to see us at any of the events we do throughout the city, see us at any conventions, or get in touch with us online.
All right, so you can check out I Play Games at our Facebook page, and it's all one word, IPLAYGAMES. On Twitter, it's KFair_IPG. I think you can catch a lot of our events in the Chicago Video Gamers Club. So the CVGC encompasses all of the different types of gaming that go on in Chicago. And so we got a meetup page, which is Chicago VGC, and we got a Facebook page, which is full word Chicago Video Gamers Club.